Bonjour. Aujourd'hui, nous sommes vendredi. Alright, parlons français, je ne peux pas parler français, parlons en français ou à langue. Je vis magasin de jouets. Je suis à la maison. Je vis à la maison. Oh, great. Anyway, magasin de jouets, we're going to the toy store. Illicisa? I think it's Illiceta. Totally forgot to check about the time. It's a bit cold. Yeah. Cold, but not that cold. Satunja Norwegia. And then it is Norwegia la soir. Something Norwegia la soir. Again, I've forgotten. I got so many things in my mind right now, but the most important one is the vlog. Today is payday. Yeah, and I don't know, make it formal, like the strategy to move forward. Okay, so first thing first, financial. This is the last week, or no, sorry, the last pay for the year. That means the next year is where we get a new our pay. Holiday, I'm not so sure they're gonna pay early on holiday. I'm gonna say no first. Anyway, I'm guessing today's pay is today's pay week is the last pay for the year. Yeah, I'll just have to do some calculation. If not, okay, today's 16 plus 7, 23 plus 7, 30. Oh wow. No, actually not really, because there's one more week to go. Okay, so it's not really the last pay of the year, presumably, but I'm gonna say maybe because 31st is on a Sunday. You know, first of January is on a Sunday, and no, you know what? I'm not gonna go too much. I'm just gonna say that I'm gonna assume today's pay is the last pay of the year. Great. I think GoPro stopped recording, I don't know when, so hopefully it's something that I'm babbling, which is great. But first, let's go to Toys R Us, and then we will go get our pizza, and then we're gonna have some financial story time. Yeah. Alright, back at home, bought pizza, and I didn't buy, it's good I didn't buy toys. So while I was doing my math, a bit lazy today. Lazy. At least I finished a lot of videos. Tomorrow will be the vlog, and if you're gonna see this, so I've done a quick little calculation and everything, and this year, alright, 40,000 total spend. Yeah, because right now it's 3.6, the breakdown is here. And of course this one is a lot, this collectibles and stuff, and I'm adding in a few more thousand because I didn't include the big purchases. So all in all, 40 grand a year to survive. Not bad. Could be better for sure. This one, yeah, you know what, I'm gonna leave it as it is. Once we finish our December budgeting, we're gonna have the final number, and then I'm gonna do a compilation of everything, and then forecast for the next, not say forecast for the next year, more like goal for the next year. But the most important part is down here, these numbers. And if you're asking a lot of all these numbers, I would say don't worry about it. The main number you want to pay attention to is the last number, 0.17, 0.179. Right, that's, but to make it simple, 0.17, 0.17, or 0.18. So that is the that's the monthly interest rate that I'm getting at the every month. And so this is my what do you call this, checking account. So by having $4,000 in the bank already in that account, I would save $6.95. Okay, and that translates to 0.17% interest. Right? Quote unquote, that's a quote interest because it's not true interest. I don't get money, but I don't pay the fee, which is great, which is good. So that's that. And the other number is basically my savings account, the high high yield, not say high yield, my basic account actually, basic savings account, high yield a bit higher, and that is I need to put at least $200 every month in order to enjoy that what do you call it, that interest rate. Second June wager. So, and you ask, oh, 0.17 is very low. The answer is yes and no at the same time. Yes, it looks low because it's 0.17%, but the way how interest is calculated is per annum. And if I were to translate to per annum, it's 2.15%, which is correct. 1.4%, that's the base. If I were to put into savings, which is great already. By itself, I think, yeah, no, by itself is good. And then to top it off, I get 0.75% for every $200 I put it into that savings account, which translates to 1.79% every month. Obviously, that's not the true number. That's the what do you call this? That's the marketing number. However, I'm getting very close to that number, right? Obviously, I want higher, but higher is tough. So getting 0.17% is huge. It's huge because for every $1,000, I'm getting 0.17 times 10 is 1.7 times 100 is 17 times 1,000 is 170. No, 0.17. Okay, great. My math is rubbish right now. Yup. If I times 100 is 17. That's correct. But it doesn't work that way. See, that's the fun bit. It doesn't really work that way. Yeah, for some reason my math in my head went a little bit wonky. So basically I'm getting $1.70. For some, like, you don't times 1,000, because $1,000. Okay, I cannot explain the math because in my head right now, I remember it's 1,000 divided by 100 times 1.7. 0.17, so it's 1.7. So for every $1,000, I'm getting $1.70 back. That's great. That's great because one of the goal that I set myself next year is to save at least $1,000 if I can. But let's say if we don't have $1,000, let's go with 10,000. Yeah, I was thinking, like, can we hit 10,000? The answer is a bit interesting. Yep. Yeah. Hold on a sec. All right, another quick math. Oh yeah. Okay. No. It's still the math. That's the part I'm working out. Yeah. No, I'm trying to hit at least 10,000, or the goal of my first milestone goal is to hit $10,000 in savings, and that would be the emergency fund. So right now we have 6. Okay. Yeah. It's kind of doable. It's doable. Because I was figuring out why did I put 10 grand, and the answer is it's not 10 grand. Is we want to save at least 3 months worth of emergency funds. That's $6,000. We already have it, and 4,000 goes to offset the checking account. So we left $2,000, and then the next goal is to hit 6,000, and the next 6,000, which will have 10,000 in our emergency fund. Yeah. So in the end of the day, it's 12,000. Yeah. Okay. Cool. I was thinking, like, where did I get 10 grand? Because 10 grand, I'm getting $17 every month. Yeah. And ooh, it's cold. Warm, cold. So that's basically the gist of it that I want to talk today. Is I'm working on the little plan. Right now I'm just gonna put it as it is, as raw. I mean, it's the idea is raw right now. Numbers I'm still crunching, and previously what I've been doing is I've been instead of setting a mandatory amount, which I did, which is $250 every month, best as I can, and save. Now we're gonna swap it because we want to be a bit aggressive, like how I did when I was after that pandemic, which is the recovery year, which is technically last year. Okay, no, technically last year. yeah, technically last year, 2020, pandemic, 2021, got back job. Yeah, okay. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna reverse and then a little bit of changes, right? Some slight modification. So it goes something like that. Is we're gonna have, technically it's 3 accounts. We need 3 accounts. Obviously, I'm gonna utilize my credit card account because my credit card gets a cashback, and I get some cashback return. Like recently, I didn't ask for it, but they usually credit back to me at the end of the year, which is great, right? Automatically, which is nice. And the cashback that I got back is enough to cover my credit card fee, which is painful, $99. Ouch. At least I got some surplus. Yeah, and that shows me that I should utilize my credit card more. But with a caveat is that I can afford to do, can afford to spend. I'm not going to just spend everything, because there's one news that I read is like because of a GST hike of 1%, right? Service fee. A household just went on a shopping spree, spent about like $10,000 just to save that $100 ish. Yeah, that's a lot of money. That's crazy. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to continue paying my bills, do my grocery run, and if I get and whenever I get a cashback, then that's great. It's a bonus, which is nice. And in total, I get about 268, 69 ish, which is great. Obviously, most of it is due to this spending over here. Crazy. So at least I get some money back, can splurge a little bit, right? But of course, that's a whole nother story. So it goes exactly like this right now in my head. When we get our payment, so payday today, what we want to do is we want to make sure we allocate enough on the checking account, which is we have to maintain $4,000 at times. What I'm going to do is probably put $4,000 plus $200, like for take, right? Just in case of overdraft. No, just in case I need money that I have to use my checking account to pay, which is paying the electricity bill. That one I have to use my checking account to pay. No other way. I can't use credit card. So that's that, and yeah, that's it. Because most of the bills that I'm paying is through credit card, so I'm utilizing as best as I can. So it goes exactly like this. I will take all the bills, right? So the moment I get my paycheck, cha-ching, make sure I set aside $4,000. Make sure I set aside rental. Ooh, rental is painful. $1,700. All right, set aside rental, and then bills and everything, which is right now I'm putting $250 for food, and then bills and whatnot, that's about $300. So let's round it up at $600, right? Straight away use $600 and put into the credit card, right? So right now my credit card is always on a positive in the beginning of the month. That's for sure. And whatever I have left, I just split it up, right? Probably take about depends how much I want to fund my yeah, so take my remaining amount and then just squish it into the main savings account, right? However, like I said, I need 3 accounts, right? So I have one more account. It is do whatever you want fund. That's what I call, or your secondary emergency fund. I won't say secondary emergency fund. I call it your spending savings. It's still a savings account, but it's more of a for spending, but it's not immediate spending. It's for something like, okay, I want a TV, I want a one wheel is over here. I want a robot vacuum cleaner. So I'll slowly put to that. It's like a shopping thing. And that one, so the previous use was to save up $1,000, and then if it overflows, put there. So no, this round it's the other way around. So every month I'll put some money into that secondary account, second account, and when it hits the threshold, so the threshold right now is if it's over $500, right? Just say, because I want to put $1,000, so that it's much more, a little bit more stress-free when it comes to big purchases. Yeah, normally 500. Okay, so $1,000. So when it hits above $1,000, no, once it hit $1,000, I will never put any money in whenever I get my paycheck. So that means once I pay off my liability, everything goes to the savings. And then when it comes to, like, for example, a special promotion, like sometimes you get very good promotion for fixed deposit or time deposit, and that's where I will use. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use, instead of digging through my savings account, I'm gonna use that do whatever you want fund, and then use that to put into time savings. I'm not gonna put everything, because when you put to time savings, if you need a burst of extra money, yeah, it's going to be a hassle to take out. Apparently for Canada. For Malaysia, it's easy. So for Malaysia, usually I'll just put into fixed deposit, right? Every time get instead of putting into savings account, where savings account is the interest rate is rubbish, I'll just put into fixed deposit, right? Every time get $1,000, chuck it in. It has been, this strategy has been very, very useful until today, and it will continue to be useful for the future. It's just that right now I'm switching up to be a bit more aggressive, and in this case it's much easier, not say easier to maintain, but much easier to keep track, because if my do whatever you want fund hits 0, that means I have been overspending. Overspending, that's for sure, and I can pump the brakes much more efficiently, yeah. And then if my credit card goes below the not say credit limit, which if I have to pay outstanding credit card bills, that also tells me I'm a little bit overspendy. And most of the time it's usually my credit card bills will clear every time on time, and that's how I can keep track. So we got one limitation, which is credit card. We got one emergency tank, which is $1,000 to pay back the credit card so that we don't owe anything. And then if we deplete our secondary savings, technically we still have our primary savings to back up, but that one I need to figure out a way how to not say lock it, like I don't want to touch it as best as I can. Like I refuse to touch it. Nah. So that's right now, that's the protocol that I'm putting to myself. And the best part is, if and when I gain interest from the primary savings, right, it's going to be huge, right? It's going to be huge, trust me. So once it hit, like, let's say $1,000, I'm getting $17 a month, and all I need to do is just get whatever interest I have, just put it into my credit card or do whatever you want fund. So basically what I'm saying is use my credit card to buy stuff. Then I got my emergency pot jar to fill up my credit card if I go overdraft, and I don't like to overdraft from the bank, right? I like to overdraft from myself. Yeah, it's one of those things where a lot of people don't really understand the concept of self-allocate overdraft. It's very, very useful, because there's an overdraft fee in Canada and I hate it. I've been paying like useless fee for a year, and it's like, why did I bother? Because I don't overdraft myself, right? I limit myself to a way where I never overdrafts. Yeah. Anyway, it's a bit long-winded, but that's it. Yeah, this is interesting. I mean, there's a few things I bought. Yeah, we will touch on collections like once we get all our budget listed down, because next year I really have to just delete and sell off one of my not say portfolio, like I need to get rid of one of my collection site and just focus down to just only a few. Yeah, the rest I don't care already. Next year that's the next year plan. Whew, je te verrai demain. Yeah, it is a cloudy night, so nuit je la nuit. Cette nuit je la nuit.